Friends, now we'll discuss the experimental study of the black body radiation spectrum. In my earlier lecture, we have seen the concept of the black body and black body radiation. We have seen the there is a black body, and also we have discussed the importance of the black body radiation. Now we are going to discuss the experimental study of the black body radiation spectrum. Is the experiment designed by the scientist Lummer and Pringsheim in 1899. They tried to investigate the distribution of the energy of the black body radiation among the wavelengths which are emitted by the black body after heating at different temperatures. And we are going to see the experimental arrangement. Now here, the scientists Lummer and Pringsheim, they used the black body which is electrically heated, and there is a small hole through which the black body radiations they emerge out, and these black body radiations they are allowed to fall on the concave mirror A, and after the reflection through this concave mirror, they are passed through the slit S, and after passing through this slit, they are allowed to fall on this mirror B. Now this slit S is placed at the focal plane of this mirror B, so that the radiations after reflection from mirror B, they will be travel in a parallel direction. They will be parallel to each other, and these parallel radiations which are reflected from mirror B, they are allowed to pass through the uh, prism, and that prism is a special prism called as the fluorosphere prism. It is used to study the black body radiation because this prism, fluorosphere prism, is a crystalline material. That is, its molecules are symmetric, that gives a smooth transition of electromagnetic wave which passes through it, and it can transmit as well as it can disperse the thermal radiations which are useful in study of the properties of thermal radiation with the black body. So this is the special kind of prism used to obtain the dispersion of this black body radiation. It is called as the fluorosphere prism, and after the dispersion through this prism, the radiations they are allowed to fall. They made incident on the again concave mirror C, where these radiations they can reflect, and these radiations they are allowed to enter into the bolometer. A bolometer is a special kind of device used to study the black body radiation, and these radiations after passing through this bolometer, they are uh, the intensity of the radiation is directly recorded with the help of a galvanometer connected to this bolometer. So this is the simple experimental arrangement used to study the black body radiation spectrum. As I explained earlier, the bolometer is nothing but a device for measuring power of the electromagnetic radiation via the heating of the material with temperature dependence electrical resistance. So we can measure the uh, intensity of the radiation by using this instrument called as the bolometer, and that instrument has a special name. It is called as a Lummer Karlbaum bolometer. It is used to measure the intensity of the heat radiations. So this is the experimental arrangement used by this Lummer and Pringsheim. Here there is arrangement that we can rotate this concave mirror C about the vertical axis, so that whatever radiations those are dispersed through this prism, they can be reflected from this mirror, and we can measure the intensity of such radiations. Now we have to also measure the wavelength of these radiations, and the wavelength of these radiations can be measured with the help of dispersion formula for the prism. and using that formula we can calculate the radiation wavelengths of the radiations that are dispersed through this fluorosphere prism. So this is a simple arrangement. Now what scientist Lummer and Prinsham did, he used the different temperatures of the black body and the radiations which are coming, which are emitted at different temperatures. Such radiations, they are allowed to pass through this or disperse through this fluorosphere prism. And he measured the wavelength of all such radiations and their intensities using this bolometer. And he plotted a graph between the intensity of the radiation versus wavelength. It is called as the black body radiation spectrum, and black body radiation spectrum for different wavelengths he plotted, and the nature of that we are going to see just now. Now he used the temperature range between 620 degree Kelvin to 1650 degree Kelvin, and he plotted the graph between the intensity of the radiation with respect to the wavelength. And as I explained, this y-axis represents the intensity of the radiation, and x-axis represents the wavelength of the radiation. And initially, he plotted the graph by using the temperature of black body as 904 degree Kelvin, and he observed the nature of the graph like this. So he observed that initially the intensity increases with increase in wavelength, and at particular wavelength the intensity is maximum, and further increase in wavelength uh, uh, causes the decrease in intensity of the radiation. So that is the nature of this graph, black body radiation spectrum we can call. Similar kind of graphs were observed for higher temperatures. So at 998 degree Kelvin, the similar type of graph is observed. Again, for 1095 degree Kelvin, higher temperature 1250 degree Kelvin, and lastly we can say at about 1646 degree Kelvin, he observed the black body radiation spectrum. So these are the black body radiation spectrum drawn at different temperatures of the black body. And using this graph, some important conclusions they are drawn. So first important conclusion is that here we observe that the nature of each graph is same. The nature of the black body radiation spectrum, which are plotted at different temperatures, it is same. That is, first the intensity increases with increase in wavelength, and further increase in wavelength shows the decrease in intensity of the black body radiation. However, it is observed that the wavelength corresponding to a maximum intensity uh, decreases with increase in temperature. For example, if you consider this 904 degree Kelvin graph, you will observe that this is the wavelength corresponding to the maximum intensity. So this is the maximum intensity corresponding to this wavelength. And if you increase the temperature, you will observe that this wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity is shifted towards the shorter wavelength side. So it is shifted towards the shorter wavelength side. So again, if you increase the temperature of black body, the wavelength corresponding to the maximum intensity, again it is shifted towards the shorter wavelength side. In this way, it is observed that as we increase the temperature, wavelength corresponding to the maximum intensity of the black body radiation corresponding to that particular temperature is shifted as we increase the temperature of the is shifted towards the shorter wavelength side as we increase the temperature of the black body. This is the important conclusion it is observed. So this wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity, it is called as denoted as lambda m, and we observe that this lambda m is inversely proportional to the temperature. It is inversely proportional to the temperature. Or we can say that this lambda m, or it is observed that this lambda m into this T is equal to constant. And this is very important law. It is called as the Wien's displacement law. That also we are going to discuss in coming lectures. So this law is very important law. Again, another conclusion drawn is that the total energy of the radiation at any temperature is given by the area under the curve. So if you uh, consider the area under this curve, this area under this curve for 904 degree Kelvin, what it will give? It will give the total energy of the radiation at this temperature. We will observe that, and this total area or this intensity, total energy of the radiation is found to be proportional to the fourth power of the corresponding absolute temperature. And we know that this total radiation emitted by the black body per unit time per unit area is proportional to the fourth power of the absolute temperature, is nothing but the Stephen's fourth power law. So Stephen's fourth power law is also verified by using this black body radiation spectrum. And again, here it is observed that the different scientists have tried to explain this black body radiation spectrum, or this nature of the black body radiation spectrum. The Wien has tried to explain this nature of this black body radiation spectrum, but Wien's law could explain the behavior of this black body radiation spectrum only in the low wavelength region. Higher wavelength region, this nature could not be explained by this Wien's law. Again, the scientists Rayleigh and Jeans, they have used statistical mechanics, and they have also used the theory of the electromagnetic radiation, and they also tried to give the explanation of this behavior of the black body radiation spectrum. But Rayleigh-Jeans law can explain only the behavior of this black body radiation spectrum only in the higher wavelength region. So this part is explained by Rayleigh-Jeans law, higher wavelength region part, and this part is explained by Wien's distribution law. So Wien's law cannot explain this behavior at higher wavelength region, and Rayleigh-Jeans law cannot explain the behavior of this black body radiation spectrum at low wavelength region. And therefore, the scientist Max Planck, he used the Planck's quantum theory, or quantum theory of the radiation, and he has derived a law which is called as the Planck's radiation law, and that law can explain the exact behavior of this black body radiation spectrum in higher wavelength region and lower wavelength region also. So Planck's radiation law is a very important law because it explains this behavior of this black body radiation spectrum. So all these laws that we are going to discuss as a part of our this syllabus or part of this lecture series. So in next lecture, we'll discuss the Planck's radiation law. What are the basic concepts what are the basic concepts on which the Planck's radiation law is based? That we are going to discuss in next lecture. So I think you might have enjoyed this lecture. You might have liked this lecture. If you have enjoyed and liked this lecture, I request you to like and share my YouTube channel, so that I can prepare more and more interesting videos, and I can post the videos on my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this lecture.